Hello, my special fans, and welcome back to Flying Dirty. On this episode, we get to go out and do some actual IMC, but I had to make some sound decisions that in general aviation, we as pilots must be disciplined enough to deal with all the time. When I purchased the Cherokee 6, I told my wife to always assume that we might not be going, being that no flight is a certainty and nothing goes above safety. So I told her that she will have to learn how to deal with the fact that we may or may not go, or we may even end up getting stuck somewhere. With that being said, I had to make one of those decisions prior to doing my IMC flight. And also, while I'm editing this video, I'm also working on a flight plan for Florida. So stay tuned for those videos because I am also going to be showing you a bit of what I do for business trips in the airplane. Now, before we go to the video, first let me say a special thanks to Michael in Louisiana, who was sporting his Flying Dirty t-shirt while giving out their certificates. He sent me an email and I certainly appreciate that, my friend. Earl for sporting his Flying Dirty decals in his B737 MAX, who is retiring from an airline career, by the way, after 35 and a half years. And also, he's planning on getting back to flying smaller general aviation airplanes. So Earl, welcome back to real flying, my good friend. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching Flying Dirty, and here is the video. Welcome to Flying Dirty. I'm Raul, private pilot and entrepreneur based out of Centennial, Colorado. Come on board with me, my family, and friends on our flight adventures across the nation. All right, so today we're thinking about taking November 3620 Whiskey out for some actual IMC. Denver is one of these places where IMC is extremely rare for our type of general aviation flying. And the reason why is because in the winter time, when you're dealing with low ceilings, then you're dealing with snow and icing conditions, and the plane is not equipped for that. And then the other thing is that in the summertime, you're dealing with mainly convective weather. So let's go back inside our hangar. So what we're thinking about doing is we're thinking about going from Centennial to Front Range. And I did file an IFR flight plan. Let's look at the weather conditions. So let's see what the weather is over at Front Range right now. It is showing overcast 300, low visibility, and light rain and thunderstorms. So we're going to have to check on that. That's the type of weather I don't like flying into. It's thunderstorms. And let's check what the radar looks like now. And here's what it looks like now, folks. Now, always keep in mind that when you're flying with ForeFlight, this radar depiction is usually late. As a matter of fact, right here is showing 8 minutes ago. So in 8 minutes, when you're talking about thunderstorm and convective activity, 8 minutes is a very long time for things to really change. But so you never really know with these radars. I always use it as a guide, but you know, I don't trust it. I give myself a lot of room for error. So right now, guys, we have to make a go or no-go decision. So let me know your thoughts on the comments. What do you think looking at this? It only takes one thing to really scrap the flight. So looking at this convective activity, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should scrap the flight, or do you think we should go ahead and go because we're instrument rated anyway? So technically speaking, we would be legal, right? So what would you guys do in these circumstances? Let's look at the temperatures aloft, which is another thing I like to look at. So to do that, you click on weather, and then you click on winds. And I love using this part because this here shows me where the freezing level is going to be at. And as you can see, there it is, 12,000 feet. The temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. So that's pretty good. We don't have to really worry about the icing. So what happens is oftentimes the mountains here in the Colorado Rockies, they'll give you orographic lift. And what that is this right here. Then when these winds go up the mountain, what happens is they'll cool down and they'll condense. So oftentimes when we get the snow, you have the lower wind currents, they're going towards the mountains, causing orographic lift. But then above, you have the upper currents going from west to east, pushing all of the precipitation right over Denver. So that's pretty much what we see here. So now what's happening is that you're seeing wave after wave. And what that means for me is that we are going to have to cancel our IFR flight for today. Well, guys, I'm a little bummed out about that, but that's okay, because aviation is all about good decision making. And I think today we made the right decision, but hopefully tomorrow the weather will be better and then I can film a nice IMC flight. Hey guys, welcome back to Flying Dirty. So today is another day and we're going to give this instrument flight another try. All right, let's get ready to crank this baby up. So we have mixture. I usually put it at full. There's different ways to do this, but this is how I like to do mine. I pump it 3 times. We'll turn the master on and the fuel pump on. There we go. And we'll wait for the Dyna Skyview to give us a fuel pressure indication. And I like the fuel pressure on the Cherokee 6 to be around 5 psi. And right now we're showing 5. We're showing 5, so we're good to go. Now, before we start it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crank it and let the prop spin without engaging the magnetos. I'm just going to let the prop spin, maybe give it about 3 rotations so that the oil will circulate through the engine. Clear prop. And it's clear, no one is coming. So let's go ahead and turn the prop about 3 times. There we go, and then we can start it. So that's how easy it is to turn on the Cherokee 6. Let's turn on the avionics and the autopilot. Now right now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go to the fuel pump. So we're just gonna grab some fuel and then we'll get our information and we depart. Now, one of the things I want to do before we depart is obviously we have to get our local ATIS, but before we depart, I'm also going to pick up the ATIS at front range and the frequency, so that way I can stay ahead of the airplane. This is going to be a very short flight to front range. We'll probably be there in probably less than 15 minutes. So I like to be ahead of the airplane as much as possible. It's going to get real busy really fast on an instrument flight. Especially one that is really nearby. Okay, here we are, guys. We already have the fuel and we're already getting set up. So I've already set the autopilot to our altitude. So we always have to do that. And you do that by hitting this twice, and where it says Alt Sync, you want to set that to your current altitude, which is showing 580 now. So let's see if we can change that some more. There we go. Let's set it to 5780. Now this is critical that you get this correctly, especially when you're flying instrument.
Number 3620 Whiskey, Centennial. Clearance cleared to Centennial Airport via the Denver 2 departure. Radar vectors to Charlie Foxtrot Oscar Airport, then direct Centennial Airport. Maintain 8000. Denver departure frequency 132.75, squawk 5113.
3620 Whiskey is cleared to Centennial via the Denver 2 departure. Radar vectors to Charlie Foxtrot Oscar and then direct to Centennial. Climb and maintain 8000, 13275 and 5113 on the squawk. 3620 Whiskey.
Number 202, you're back, correct? Number 3620 Whiskey, Centennial ground runway 35 right, taxi via Alpha.
35 right, Alpha, 3620 Whiskey. All right, here we go. Let's get ready to taxi. So even on an IFR day, it's still pretty busy here at Centennial. Not sure if you saw my last video where we had an incident on the parallel runways just a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was a was a series that clipped a Metroliner during his final turn. The Metroliner
97 monitor.
The Metroliner was on the final, and let's keep an eye on this traffic here. This is actually one of the hot spots here at Centennial. So let's make sure this guy here stops.
Ground 814 Papa Sierra is exiting 35 right.
Challenger 814 Papa Sierra, Centennial, are you going to Tucker?
We're going to Signature.
Number 4 Papa Sierra, roger, taxi to Signature via Alpha.
Via Alpha to Signature Papa Sierra, thank you.
Well, and that's just a prime example. I don't like what this jet has done. He just basically rolled right through the whole line, exiting the runway. He just basically called his own clearance. He just basically said exiting the runway. So had I not slowed down, he probably would have clipped me. So that's why you have to pay attention, because when I get to that line, I stop, and then I call ground. And that's, again, one of our hotspots here at Centennial. So I'm not really liking what that guy did there. That was pretty dangerous. A little reckless in my opinion. So this is an IFR flight. So I've got the cameras rolling, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let them roll and continue filming until the batteries give way, because I'm not going to really have a chance to load batteries and stuff like that on these instrument flights. The only thing I'm going to be doing is focusing, and let's make sure we have our frequencies ready. We've got ground, we've got tower, we've got departure, and why don't we set front range here.
Number 770 Charlie Sierra, southbound upper is just to your left, next left.
Boy, look at this. It is pretty busy. It is, even though it's IFR, we've got one plane just landed, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm number 6. So this airport always remains pretty busy, no matter the conditions. Clear for takeoff, 35 right, heading 125, 3620 Whiskey.
290, we'll contact departure. Have a great day, 77050.
Heading 125, contact over departure, good day.
125 and over to departure, 3620 Whiskey, have a great one. Departure, Cherokee 3620 Whiskey with you, 6,700 for 8,000, 125 on the heading.
3620 Whiskey, Denver departure, radar contact, number altimeter 3031.
3031, 3620 Whiskey.
Charlie Sierra, climb maintain 11,000.
Up to 11,000 for 0 Charlie Sierra.
1 Charlie Victor is 4 miles from Dry Dog, maintain 8,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 35 right approach.
Clear runway 35 right to Charlie Victor.
33, take ILS approach, runway 35 and 8 in use. ILS runway 17 unserviceable. Hazardous weather information, air mucks for the Western United States, available on-site service frequencies. Advise owners contact, give information.
Charlie Victor,
Airport tower information, X-ray at 15500 and 0405, visibility 10. Ceiling 800 broken, 2,500 broken, 6,500 overcast. Temperature 12, 2.11, altimeter 3033. Take ILS approach, runway 35 and 8 in use. ILS runway 17 unserviceable.
Hazardous weather information, air maps for the Western United States, available on-site service frequencies. Advisors contact, give information at...
And approach 3620 Whiskey has X-ray. We'd like to do RNAV 35 if we can.
20 Whiskey, roger. Only 415, tower 118.9er.
Denver departure, good morning. Cessna 555 Yankee Sierra, heading 300, 7,000, climbing 8,000.
55 Yankee Sierra, Denver departure, radar contact, altimeter 3031, and roger.
3031, 5 Yankee Sierra.
20 Whiskey, turn left heading 080.
Left 080, 3620 Whiskey.
Lengthy check-in.
Negative, Jetlink 680 is checking on now, turning to 320, level at 8,000.
680, Denver departure, radar contact, turn right heading 030.
Right turn 030, Jetlink 680.
20 Whiskey, traffic at 12 o'clock, 8 miles opposite direction, 9,000 is a 737.
20 Whiskey and IMC will be looking on the radar. Alright, so here we're making sure that we have our altitude at 7,500 and a heading of 190. Alright, so we are shooting the ILS at Centennial. We're at 9,000 feet. And everything is looking good. Looks like she has given us the turn to vector.
November 3620 Whiskey, turn right heading 220.
Right 220, 3620 Whiskey. Okay, let's go ahead and activate our vectors to the ILS 35 since we are getting vectored at this moment. So vectors and yes. And let's go ahead and activate it.
November 3620 Whiskey, turn right heading 270.
270, 3620 Whiskey. So here is the plate. Let's go ahead and load 35 right ILS, and let's view that. As you can see, she is getting us right on target to intercept the 35 right ILS approach. The controllers do a very wonderful job.
November 616 again.
And as you can see, they're pretty busy. And again, we are in the soup. So 118.9er, we'll go ahead and activate that,
Switch
get that ready.
tank.
We can disregard that, I just changed the fuel tank. We've got plenty of fuel, and we'll leave it there because that is the tank with the most fuel.
November 3620 Whiskey, planning 240 vector sequence.
240, 3620 Whiskey. Okay, our speed is looking good. Everything is looking good. I think the ceilings have picked up, so this is gonna be this is not gonna be an approach to minimums or anywhere near that. Now the thing with the True Track, let me say that if I get a chance to say it. So True Track, the problem with True Track, I can use it right now while I'm flying headings.
November 800 Charlie Uniform.
But if I was to have an approach fix, then I wouldn't be able to use it coupled on an approach. However, the True Track, you can't use it as long as it's not coupled. That is the rule. It is if it is a coupled approach, you cannot use it on actual IMC. That's one of the downfalls about True Track. So if you're thinking about getting a True Track to fly a lot of instrument approaches, that would not be really a good idea. And I'm not sure when they're going to have the FAA approve approaches. At this time, it is not approved for approaches. Coupled approaches, that is. You can't use this independently because this does its own tracking and all that. So as long as you don't couple it, you'll be fine using it. But the whole reason to have an autopilot when you're doing ILS approaches is so that, you know, the autopilot can assist you. Now, one thing I don't recommend is do not buy an autopilot just for the sake of doing approaches if you cannot do an approach hand manual. Like, for example, this approach, it is an ILS. This autopilot TrueTrack does not have ILS capabilities, so any analog approach, it does not have the capacity or the capability to do that. So we're gonna have to do this approach manually. So I practice manual approaches a lot, and I encourage you to do that, because if you rely on your autopilot to do your approaches and you don't practice them manually, you're asking for trouble, is what you're doing. So please don't do that. Don't rely on your autopilot. Use your autopilot as a means to help you, not as a means to fly you. She is doing a wonderful approach. I'm not sure if you can see that very good, but here's the depiction of our airplane, and she has us pretty much going to intercept the runway. Perfect intercept. All right, our minimums, let's go ahead and get those set. Minimums are going to be 6,085, so let's just do 6,100.
310, intercept the localizer, runway 35 right.
310 to intercept 35 right, 800 Charlie Uniform.
Now my eyes are inside now, and I'm not really looking outside because there's nothing to look out there. It's nothing but gray sky. So.
20 whiskey, turn right at 280.
Right, 280, 3620 whiskey. So at this point, you just look inside and you make sure that everything is working like you want it to work.
2468 Yankee Denver, thank you.
So what we're going to do now is, yep, it is set to V localizer, so we've got the localizer.
20 whiskey, turn right at 320, intercept the localizer, runway 35 right.
320 to intercept localizer, 35 right, 3620 whiskey. So there it is. We're going to intercept localizer. We set this to the localizer now, and as you can see, that switched to IFD navigation, and it's showing us our 1130.
Uniform is 8 miles from JIDOG, flighting 320, maintain 8,500 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 35 right approach.
320, what was the altitude?
8,500.
320, 8,500 till established, cleared ILS, 35 right, 800 Charlie Uniform.
So our missed approach is going to be climb to 7,500, then a climbing right turn to 9,000, heading of 160.
November 20 whiskey, 3 miles from Furby, cross Furby at 9,000, cleared ILS, runway 35 right approach.
Cross Furby at 9,000 and clear for the ILS 35 right, 3620 whiskey.
November 1 Charlie, Charlie, turn right heading 020, enable clear direct EONs.
As you can see, our needle is starting to come in. Here's our glide slope. So our missed approach, in case we go miss, we're going to climb to 7,400, then a climbing right turn to 9,000, heading 160 to home, and we're going to hold. All right, our minimums are 6,100, and they are set already. And then at JIDOG, we're going to go down to 8,000. At Yagoo, 7,060, and at Lisette, 6,700.
2468 Yankee, plan the RNAV runway 35 approach.
Yankee, thank you.
Welcome.
And right now we're on our own, taking no more vectors. We're still IMC. There's our begin descent indication.
November 3620 whiskey, contact Centennial Tower 118.9, good day.
118.9, have a great day, 20 whiskey.
Thank you.
Good morning, Tower, Cherokee 3620 whiskey on the ILS 35 right.
Turkey 3620 Whiskey Centennial Tower, runway 35 right, it's clear to land, wind calm.
35 right, clear to land, 3620 Whiskey. We do have the winds coming from our left. So we're going to be shooting the approach here at a crab angle. So if you know your wind directions when you're doing your approach, makes life a whole lot easier. We're about to cross Jai Dog and it looks like we're still going to be in the clouds. So we can log this approach as a good practice approach. Okay, we're a bit to the right and we're just a little tiny bit low, but we're correcting. And Centennial bases are right around 6,700.
020 Whiskey, thank you.
Approaching minimums. 500.
All right, we're landing. As you can see, we're lined up perfectly on the runway.
Traffic. Minimums.
There are the minimums. And we're landing. Well, that was a pretty cool approach. What do you guys think? So there it is, guys. We finally did it. We managed to get a few approaches done in actual IMC, and I'll tell you what, I always love getting up there when it's actual IMC conditions. So anyway, I've got some more videos. If you're new to the channel, check out our playlist and continue watching our videos. And until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and have a great day, my friends.